Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. If you don't know, I'm Melissa. I am a registered dietitian, and here on my channel we talk about all things food and nutrition and sometimes other stuff too. So today we are talking about something that is maybe a little bit controversial, but I feel like is important to talk about, and that is body positivity and fat acceptance. So I think we're in a really great movement right now of body positivity, but I have seen a lot of people say that, body positivity is basically just fat acceptance. So I kind of want to talk about the difference between the two and why I think body positivity is so important. So first things first, what is body positivity? So I don't know if there's an official definition, but in my mind, body positivity means accepting yourself for what you look like, who you are, and loving yourself. And part of loving yourself means, eating healthy, taking care of yourself, taking time for yourself, just kind of overall loving and taking care of your body. So that's kind of my view of body positivity. If you have a different definition, then feel free to leave it below. But I feel like, pretty much forever, women and men, but especially women, have just been shown this unrealistic image of beauty. And just recently, probably in the last couple years, this body positivity movement has started to just kind of tell people that is unrealistic, and just because you don't look like that doesn't mean you're not beautiful, doesn't mean you should have no self-worth or self-confidence. And I really feel like that's what the body positivity movement is about, and I really feel like it's doing really great things. But before we get really into that, let's talk about what fat acceptance is. So again, not sure if there's an official definition, but in my mind, fat acceptance means someone who is probably very overweight and doesn't take care of themselves, just accepting that, and maybe other people also accepting that and not encouraging them to be healthy or change in any way. So in my mind, there's a really big difference between body positivity and fat acceptance. Part of me understands why people would say that maybe body positivity is just fat acceptance in disguise, but I think that's a very surface view of it. So the big difference between these two for me is that body positivity is about loving your body and therefore taking care of it, whereas fat acceptance is just kind of accepting it for what it is and not trying to do anything to take care of yourself. And while I do think there will be a portion of the population who is always going to be that way and who doesn't really care about taking care of themselves, there's a big difference between that and someone who is still larger than the ideal beauty standard or ideal weight, but they take care of themselves. And even though they are larger than the ideal weight, they still love themselves because they're nourishing their body and they're accepting that they are still beautiful, whether they might be someone else's definition of fat. And I feel like it's kind of frustrating to see people say that body positivity is the same as fat acceptance, because I do see such a difference between the two. I saw someone post on Facebook that like a picture of this beautiful, larger woman who was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, saying that, this is disgusting and they're just promoting being fat and they're promoting being unhealthy and they're promoting diabetes and all of this stuff. And that's really sad to me because that woman was beautiful. I mean, by most people's standards, she is really beautiful. And just because she's larger, someone else is saying that it's fat acceptance and that she shouldn't be on the cover of a magazine. And part of the issue here is that you have no idea what someone does to take care of themselves based on how they look. And a huge part of the body positivity movement is that all of us need to accept that we don't look the same. Most of us are never going to look like a supermodel. Most of us are never going to be a size 2 or 4 or 6 even, Just because you see someone that might be overweight doesn't mean that they don't take care of themselves. putting someone who is a larger person on the cover of a magazine isn't promoting diabetes, because the truth is that girl probably goes to the gym more than you do, more than I do. She probably works so hard to take care of herself, and that's just what she looks like, and that's totally fine. And the unfortunate reality is, you know, like I said, we've had this unrealistic beauty standard pretty much forever that truly is unrealistic. You know, most of these people are photoshopped. The large majority of us, no matter how hard we try, are never going to look like Gisele Bündchen. And unfortunately, even for a lot of those people, it's not realistic. They are paid millions of dollars to look like that. They go to the gym for hours a day. And unfortunately, a lot of them probably have extremely disordered eating patterns. So I don't really think that that's something that we should all be mimicking to try to be. That's what's so frustrating, when there is an actual realistic picture of beauty that people can attain, that people can relate to more, that doesn't make people feel bad about themselves. And then people say it's just fat acceptance, because you have no idea if someone is taking care of themselves based on their weight. Now, like I said, there will always be a portion of the population that doesn't care about taking care of themselves. You know, if you see someone that is, you know, so large that they can't walk, or their joints are failing and things like that, that's another story, and that's not necessarily what we're talking about here. But the reality is that will always be a portion of the population. But when you see these, you know, new like plus size models like Ashley Graham, who I think most of us can agree is beautiful, and then we call them fat, like that's not fat, that's just what she looks like. And she takes care of herself just like one of those skinny models does, but that's just what she looks like. And it's also beautiful. And not only is body positivity healthy, you know, for you to try to accomplish in your life, but it's also healthy for, honestly, like the population as a whole, especially females, because, you know, we can now see these people who look a little more like us in the media, which is kind of nice, because then we don't have to be striving for this totally unrealistic view of what beauty is. You know, for so long, that has been the source of so much disordered eating and mental health issues and confidence issues, is, you know, seeing that this is what beautiful looks like, and sorry, you look nothing like that, and no matter how hard you try, you probably never will. So rather than that, we can show these girls who actually look like normal people. And yes, they still probably have tons of makeup on. They still probably have a little bit of Photoshop, but it's so much more realistic. And I think that can be really mentally healthy for all females to see people who look more like them on magazines and in movies. So I feel like I kind of went out on a tangent there. I didn't really write anything down for this video. I just kind of talked. So I hope that this made sense, and I hope that it was somewhat informative. I also encourage you, if you haven't, to watch my Health at Every Size video. I think that the two do kind of relate, because Health at Every Size is all about taking care of yourself, but not necessarily striving for a certain weight, which I think is kind of all about what body positivity is. So I would encourage you to watch that video as well. Like I said, I hope that this was informative. I hope it wasn't too long of a tangent, but this is something I think is really important. If you want me to talk about this more, then please let me know in the comments below. If you agree with me or disagree with me, let me know in the comments below as well. I definitely think this is a good conversation to have. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm kind of nervous. I hope I didn't offend anybody. I don't think I did. But anyways, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. Let me know what other videos you want to see. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.